Hello, my lovely people. It's your girl Ray. I'm back again with another video. Welcome back to Selfish Therapy. I hope that you guys liked my last few videos that I posted. And if you have not watched them, please make sure that you go ahead and do so. Why am I still single? He did what on the first day? And is cheating a deal breaker? All right, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment. I would love to hear what you think. Like, share, if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel. Turn your post notification bell on so whenever I post new content, of course, you guys will be the first to know. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into the video. So guys, the purpose of this video is to share with you guys something that I experienced, and prior to going through it, I had no idea, I wasn't equipped or knowledgeable enough to, pay attention to those things. I just knew that certain things was outside of the norm, which I will share with you guys later. But I'm a super private person. I don't really share a lot of things about my life, but hey, I'm like, what the heck? Somebody might learn from this, and this is why I decided I would love to share this with you guys. So I hope that it helps somebody to identify those key components of what a narcissist is. So by the title of the video, you guys know what we're getting ready to talk about. The title of my video is basically about how me dating a narcissist almost literally broke me to pieces. Anybody who knows me, you guys know that I'm a strong person. I have a very strong personality, but I'm also a very loving person. Met this guy, started, dating, and, things seemed like it was getting serious. Spent a lot of time together. It was like the nicest person on earth. It's almost like God said, here you go, I made him for you. This is what I need to give to you. And of course, blindsided by all those beautiful things and those, all the lovely treatment. This person literally came with everything that I was looking for in a man. It was like the perfect man for me. Now, I want to say about after a certain time, I want to say about 6 months or so, I realized certain things. Like, he started to be a little bit distant, and you know what I mean, things weren't the same that it was. And I'm like, all right, of course, when you really like somebody, sometimes you let some things fly over your head because you're like, all right, don't be picky, and you tend to hold on to what was versus what is. And I was good up until there was a situation, and I don't remember exactly what he did, but something that he did. And I basically checked him on it, and it's almost like I did something wrong. All right, it happened the first time, and I let it slide. Me being me, I let it slide. And it happened again, and dude got upset with me and did not speak to me for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Now, anybody who knows me, that would never in a million years slide. 2 weeks? 1 day, 2 day, let alone 2 weeks would never pass. But there was something about this guy. Something. And 2 weeks went by. We didn't speak. I didn't talk to him. He didn't talk to me, type of situation. And I was like, all right, maybe this is it. And then he comes back around, and then he act like nothing happened. I don't feel like you should be in a relationship and it's always a headbutting situation, or you wrong, you right, I don't want to do that. That's just not my thing. I feel like we should be able to talk about it as adults, be able to move on from it, okay? But then I realized that, mind you, because I cared about him so much, I realized that it started to really take a toll on me, because I would rather talk about it and move on from it, but he just wants to be mad. He wants to oh, I'm upset, and that's it, and he shuts down and doesn't want to talk to you. Or he would do some stuff as if to make it feel like you're something is wrong with you, right? And no matter how the conversation come up, he would never apologize for anything. He would never take responsibility for anything. It's always somebody else's fault. And it doesn't matter how you bring the conversation. You could be in tears and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling when you do this. And guess what? He's going to do it again. He's absolutely doing it again. So one day I came across this channel, and something said, listen to it. I listen to it. Now, mind you, it wasn't all those things. He didn't do all those things. But I said, you know what? Something triggered me to start really looking into these things, because I did not know that this person was abusing me emotionally. I didn't know that. I had no idea that's what was happening. I just know that whenever he does this one thing, I absolutely hate it when he just shuts down. It doesn't matter what it is. We couldn't have a conversation without him being upset. I've started feeling like I didn't want to say anything. Like I didn't want to, if something bothered me, I didn't want to say it, because a part of me was a bit scared of him, him getting upset and just shutting down and not talking to me. A part of me got to the place where I didn't want to argue. You understand what I'm saying? And he would respond to the negative things. But if I would say, listen, we need to talk because something happened at what, I didn't like what you did, he'd ignore it. After coming across that video, and then I said, let me start research, because this sounds a lot too familiar. So let me look it up. And then I started realizing, I'm like, there were so many characteristics that this guy had as a narcissist. And I said, So I started doing a lot more research, and I'll tell you, while I'm not 100% educated on all the things of a narcissist, I can only explain to you some of the things that I experienced dealing with that person. It got so bad that I would pretend that I was okay. Behind closed doors, I would cry, and I would say, how is it that this person that I met that was so nice and is so, he did everything that I wanted, and became such a jerk? You know what I mean? And he doesn't say, a couple of times he said something, but he didn't say anything like crazy disrespectful. Just his actions. He would just shut down. He just not talking to you, just don't respond to you and don't talk to you for days, even if he did something wrong. Right? And I couldn't for the life of me, I couldn't get mad enough to just say, screw you. It took me a while to come to terms, because I think somewhere in my head was processing what was and making excuses for what is right now. I don't know if that's what I was doing, but I went through a rough time dealing with this, a rough time. But listen, you live and you learn, and you experience certain things, and I learned something. I wouldn't say it's something new. It's just that I'm more educated on a specific thing, and now I know what to look for. That's just one of those things. I kept seeing the good in this person. The good things that he did, and making excuses for the bad things that he did to me. So that was a really rough time for me. I was literally crying. I couldn't focus. Because for me, I don't operate like that. I don't. And people might see me as this, strong person, this tough person, but I'm really a crybaby, because I'm one of those people who still don't process certain evil things. Like, for instance, for the life of me, I can't understand why a person would do certain how do you calculate all of those things to do something evil to a person? I don't get it. I can't understand. I look at it and for me it hurts my heart. So when a person does something bad like that to me, I just for the life of me, I just couldn't understand it. And it took me a while to accept that this is a person that does not know how to show empathy, right? This is a person that is having a really, really hard time being empathetic. And no matter what I said, how I said, it's almost like if you cry, it's the worst thing you ever did. Don't dare cry and let him see. Don't do it. So that was a little bit, I didn't go into depth with everything that happened in that situation. But I wanted to share with you guys so that you can basically identify some of the key components of what would make a person or consider a person a narcissist. It doesn't mean that because a person might have one or two of these characteristics that they're automatically considered a narcissist. No, I would say at least 6, 7. Just because a person may have one or two of these qualities doesn't necessarily mean that they are considered a narcissist. However, if you're racking up on 5, 6, 7 and go on anything beyond, then there's a problem. All right. So one of the things to look for when dealing with a narcissist is, one, you could say a person that lacks empathy, a person that just pay attention. There's just some things that you don't necessarily have to tell a person. If you're crying, you'd expect a person to try and comfort you, right? Especially if you're in a relationship with a person or you're dating somebody. It's only natural for you to want to do that. Just pay attention to those. A person that know that they did something to hurt you might apologize because they feel sorry for it. They feel bad for doing that. A narcissist don't, and if they do apologize, it's coming from here, not here. Or here, but not here. Okay? So you could pay attention to that. You can know if an apology was genuine or not. Another thing I found out is that narcissists don't know how to regulate their emotions very well. This is why when you try to express how you feel or give them any kind of criticism, what they do is they shut you out. They tend to get upset real quickly, and you know what I mean? And then, number 3, they try to gaslight you. Gaslighting is basically switching it to make it seem like something is wrong with you. It's not them. It's never them. And then you start questioning yourself. The natural thing as a person, a good person, is you want to say, what did I do wrong? And then you start thinking, was it your fault? Am I crazy? Because there's no way. You know what I mean? So they gaslight to make you feel like it was your fault. It was something that you did that created that issue. They'll throw tantrums. Now, tantrums could be, getting all, or it could just be like I said, it's shutting you out. I'm mad, so I'm not talking to you type of situation, forever. You know what I mean? So that's another sign of a narcissist. All right. And then another thing you could tell, a narcissist is not loyal to anybody but themselves. Remember that. Nobody. You could be as good to them from now till that kingdom come. It doesn't matter. They get that chance to run the bus over you, they're gonna do that. It doesn't matter. They don't have loyalty to anybody but themselves. Pay attention to that. All right. And the last thing I wanted to share with you, which again, there's a lot more. I just wanted to share a few as some of the ones that I experienced, is it almost seems like they get pleasure out of somebody else's pain. Just pay attention to that. And again, that goes hand in hand with lack of empathy. And if you know any that's good or changed, let me know. From my research, I realized that that's just them. Is one or two things going to happen. You're either going to have to get out or learn to deal. Basically, learning how to accept what it is that they come with and just be like, all right, allow them to do what they want to do when they feel like doing it, or get out. And, you know, depending on what type of relationship it is, just prepare yourself for a fight. Okay. Now, again, nothing is set in stones. I do feel like a part of me feel like anybody could change. Yes. But a person has to want to change. You have to see a problem in order to want to change it. And that's one of the things with narcissists. They don't generally feel like they're doing anything wrong. They don't generally see that the problem is, you know, them. They contribute anything to the problem. It's always the other person's fault. Always. You made me do this. It's because of that. Now, this is a topic that we could talk about forever because, again, this is another thing that there's so much more elements to it. But, again, hopefully the little bit of information that I shared is super helpful to somebody to basically pay attention to, you know, don't let anybody emotionally abuse you. Just because it's not physical abuse does not mean that it's not abuse. All right. So I want to make sure that me sharing my story a little bit helps you. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, please go ahead and watch my last 3 videos that I posted. Leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn your post notification bell on so whenever I post new content, you'll be first to know. All right. Let me know what you guys want to hear me talk about. All right. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one. I'm out.